Book of Ecclesiastes. Salakia, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25. And verse, start at verse 13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachahakodash, double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking our lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning, Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, of whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. Brother Yahweh coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. And, you know, this is like really ain't got nothing to do with prophecy. It's just like Spirit jumped on me because something just happened. And I was listening to an elder brother video. I was listening to a particular video. You know how sometimes after you listen to the video, they throw up another one of the brother's videos, or another brother video might pop in. I've had it where that happens, and then I've had it where, you know, those demonic Christians pop up. Or some I've had it where that what's that one Jake? Can't think of his name, but he got basically cut up by the one Christian pastor that appeared to be an Edomite. What the fuck is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue too. I'm really bad. Like I said, my memory is really bad. But anyhow, I went to go buy my dog some dog food. Right, I'm running these errands. I went into the dog store. I'm not really even paying attention. You know, we got heavy hearts and minds, but you're still supposed to be circumspect. I'm paying attention to my surroundings, but not paying attention to, you know, the employees, or, you know what I mean? So I get a particular type of dog food, and it's a big ass bag, you know what I mean? But I did the research on it. You know, kibble ain't good for dogs, but at the same time, you know, it's better brands of kibble. You know, we eating our food defiled. Why would the dog eat better than me, right? Anyhow, shit, the day of Jacob's trouble, I hope that wolf instinct kick in and that nigga know how to go get some food, because, you know what I mean, otherwise that's his ass, you know. So anyhow, because, you know, dog, I mean, that's neither here nor there. Like I said, again, I'm trying to stop being so personal with this shit. Not shit, I don't mean to call it shit, you know, slip of the tongue but not of the heart. But anyhow, just showing you the nature of a woman, right? I go in there and it's a cashier. Now, mind you, I've never seen her before. So, but I'm not all up in her face either, you know what I mean? I see her, you know, she speak, like I'm kind of like reserved to the point, maybe that's why, you know, I attract certain kind of energy, you know what I mean? Because, you know, when I walk up, your job is customer service, because you the cashier, you supposed to say hello to me, you know what I mean? You can deal with all different kind of spirits, right? So like, I'm not one of the ones like, you know, it's, you know, literally, you know, most brothers gonna be like, hello, what's going on, how you doing, whatever, you know. But I don't be on that shit, you know what I mean? Unless it's somebody that I want to speak to, or, you know what I mean? So anyhow, she speak, hey, how you doing? I speak, but no, I don't even think she spoke first. It's another cashier. Put it like this: it was an Edomite and a Jake woman, right? And the Edomite woman like, hey, and I'm like, hey. She like, you came in here like 3 weeks ago and got that bag of dog food. So I'm like, she was like, I was like, yeah, I did. So I remembered her face, but I've never seen the Jake one. So she like, yeah, she was like, damn, that dog must eat like a motherfucker. She was like, I wonder what kind of dog that is. And I'm like, oh no, I got 2 dogs. She was like, oh, that make a lot of sense. She was like, I get it, I got 4. So the Jake chick seeing me talking to her, and just that demonic, jealous ass spirit jumped on her. Now she want to be, so moral of the story is, it made me think of the elder, and it made me think of something that the elder brother was saying in his video, because based on this woman, like, she wasn't really flirting, but maybe she was, you know what I mean? But I saw, based on me and her conversing, that literally the Jake chick started literally like, she twirl around. Now she got a dog and these little bitty arms, and I was just like, and it was, now the Edomite chick was really just being sincere talking, but then she broke her neck to say, "I'll see you later." So I caught myself in the midst of like, looking at like, this bitch really being jealous, while the other one was really just like conversing. Now, like I said, I probably could have shot a shot at the, you know, that gives me, you know, an idea. Maybe the next time I will maybe shoot a shot at the Edomite chick. Because, you know, I've been with both women, you know what I mean? And the scriptures tell you, like I heard brothers say certain things, in my opinion, which sometimes you ain't got to say your fucking opinion, but that go both ways, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, though, in my opinion, the scriptures say that out of 1,000 women, he knew not one. All these hoes wicked. That's my opinion. Now, some, you know, you got a virtuous woman, a righteous woman, but that's gonna be hard to find in between. You know, if we go off, you know what I mean? You're not gonna get nothing perfect over here. But saying that to say this, like that shit lightweight made me mad as fuck because, you know, the elder was just, he made a statement, he said he commend the brothers that can deal with a lot of women. I never wanted a lot of women. That's why I'd rather buy some pussy because I literally, it ain't like I can't go get no fucking woman. You got Jake just thinking I'm just cornball, period. Like, and I just be tripping on Jake, like, man, are you for real? I haven't aspired to be, I'm not even into half the shit that Jake be into, you know what I mean? Like, the fuck, I told you I was a simple guy. When y'all was playing sports, we was running from the police. They did play sports when we geeked up or some shit. Like, again, and I'm not promoting nigga them. You hear me? Be one of the first ones said nigga gonna die. And if I'm a nigga, you know what I mean? The Lord gonna kill me. But I mean, I think Jake put their energy and their mind into the wrong shit. Even myself sometimes. You know, we all going through it the same. But again, that pissed me off because, you know, I thought about it. I got a chick right now that I was fucking with, a Northern Kingdom chick, right? All the time I was trying to, you know, fuck with her, you know, lock her in, she up there doing whatever, God know what. Now she talking about moving in. And it's so spiritual how all this happened. And I'm like, oh yeah, you think you funny, Satan. You try to get in like, I don't know what you doing, bitch. You could be selling pussy. Like, the fuck, you could be doing anything. And I know it's a spirit just because, like, I got social media, but I don't really use my social media. You know? So, but, you know, it's funny, like, you see brothers all on social media. So, it's just more to it, you know what I mean? I know she got a negative intent. That's a demon, you know what I'm saying? But just like the demon jumped on the little Jake chick, like I said, the Edomite chick might have been, you know, because again, you can see sincere, like the elder made a statement. He said, you know when a female like you. You should. Just like he said, you should know what a female's, God damn it. You should know what a female's about. Come on, man, these motherfuckers driving all slow and shit. You should know what a female's about. You know, got a hint in what she into. If she a worldly chick, that's why I won't just take anything. As much as I want to, you know, I was losing my mind just recently, but now the Lord just lightweight lifted a lot of shit up. You know, it's not easy having children or a woman in this thing. You know what I mean? That's why, like I said again, I would rather just buy some pussy now, or like the elder said, go without it. But, you know, again, when I watched it, I was like, damn, that was demonic. You know what I mean? All for you. You only doing this shit because you see the Edomite chick and you perceive her to be flirting with me. And in your mind, nah, nigga. Well, who said that? He said, oh, Richard Pryor. He said, nigga, you shouldn't be fucking with that white bitch. Because remember when he went to jail fucking with the white woman? He said the nigga woman would be up there like, he said, why should you be happy? You know what I mean? Because, you know, I will say this, I don't think the Edomite, if she a Edomite and she bringing hell like a Jake, yeah, she probably a Jake. But the Edomite, you know, from my experience dealing with Edomites, you know, like literally, no, I ain't go through the same things that I went through with the nigga woman. But, you know, the Edomites just as, you know, they even more snakish. Like, when they cut your throat, they gonna cut your throat completely. They gonna cut, you know, right now they finding a lot of severed heads. You know, so they ain't gonna cut your head completely off. And I was just thinking though, like, this bitch only doing this flirting shit because she see this Edomite chicken and she perceiving her, she thinks she flirting. I don't even think she was flirting. She smiled at the end, so maybe she would, you know. Again, I don't really, you know, I'll shoot at a bitch when, you know what I mean? Like, my mind be everywhere and I'm thinking about other shit, you know what I mean? Now, if I've been in my drink or something like that, you know, the lust demon on me or something like that, you know, But for the most part, I ain't working around just seeking, I'm gonna knock that down, I'm gonna knock that down. Like, nah. That's me though. Like, I ain't saying that it's off, ain't nothing wicked about that. Just, I will say this, in the times we living in, you better prioritize. It ain't about, especially right now, it ain't about pleasures as much, And then would have went through all that and this bitch turned out to be a demon. Women are more in the world than any nigga could ever be. A lot of these women ain't gonna want to give it. Wait till she get, not even just harder. Wait till we be presented with that test. And I know a lot of women gonna pass, but a lot of motherfucking women gonna fail too. I've seen it firsthand. My demon told me when I was homeless, I had like $1,500 on me. The bitch told me I was only with you because you had that money. I'm the reason why the bitch through Yahweh Shem Yahshua allowed me to be able to get her off the street. That bitch ain't respect or appreciate none of that. So it's a reason why I don't even give a fuck. I don't have to explain, but it's just like, hell no, I don't trust women. I don't trust people, period. That's why the scriptures say, cursed be the man that trusteth in man. Verse 14, any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of my enemies. But the revenge of enemies. Verse 15, there's no head above the head of a serpent. And this hoe moves like a serpent. That's why, I had a teacher, instructor, when I was in the trade, because I was in the trade before. And, he Jake, and, old school Jake at that. And he like, the freest people in Babylon the Great is the white man and the nigga woman. So both of them serpents for real. And that's just the fact of the matter. I ain't say the Israelite woman, I said the nigga woman, the black woman, whose heart is really, truly black. Because when you go into the word black, it denotes negativity, evilness, wickedness. That's why it's lightweight, a shame upon you to call yourself a black person. That's why, brothers be like Jake, you know what I mean? That's why DJ Trump is going to be allowed to paint the narrative of, we wicked and evil, and, all wickedness coming from Jake's because of the fact that notation of being black. It says, there is no head above the head of a serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. And you about to see the devil come down with great wrath. It says, I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darken her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. That's why Jake fed up with the nigga woman, man. Like I said, like Jake could sit up there and be like I know myself. Again, I just really recently came to the conclusion, you can't, brother just made a statement, and he right. Scriptures talk about my thoughts are not your thoughts. So that's why, and the heart is desperately wicked, So, your thoughts can lead you astray. I'm thinking about that now, I'm thinking about the power that we truly serve, a terrible power. And that's why you should fear, but it was a saying that the dude that playing Power, I meant to do a video on it, completely forgot. I just thought about it this moment. He said you should rather, see, it's a saying, would you rather be loved or feared? And then they say fear lasts longer than love. I did a video based on that. But the way the dude, Tommy, off of Power said it, because he was on Drink Chaps, he said you'd rather be loved to the point where you don't want to let them down. You fear to let them down. Love to the point that you fear to let them down. Roughly paraphrased along the lines of that. And I thought about that like, damn. A man that has that spirit, that kind of love for the Heavenly Father, that somebody's going to receive spiritual power. Again, I told the brother, it's funny that the elder said that because, like I said, I remember me and the younger brother having a discussion about that. Do you really think you're worthy to receive spiritual power? Those men that's going to receive spiritual power are going to truly be set apart. And like the elder said, they gonna magnify Yahweh Bashim Yahushua through his power. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Skipping down. A wicked woman, a bait of courage, maketh a heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. And think about it. How many brothers been tested through women? I know I'm one. You've had brothers talk about how the Lord took away one woman and gave him another. I recognize it's a woman that's clinging to me, and I don't want to be with her because I know I'm fucked up. And she's still clinging. And know what? When I send her videos, I'm talking about videos, talking about women getting raped and everything, she like it. She'll hit the like button. I'm like, is she retarded, or just do she know in the spirit she feels something? It's spiritual because, again, I just listened to the elder brother. I don't know when he did this video. I know it wasn't today, but he was going into how women and, basically women in this truth and how they supposed to be thankful for a man of the Lord, if you got a man of the Lord. And a man of the Lord should be thankful for a helpmate. I mean, I could never let her live with me, and that demon come out here and there. You got to understand, dealing with a woman, Satan going to jump on the weaker vessel. Shit, Satan can jump on us. But it's all our jobs to fight him off. But, it's so cold how the Lord be just doing little shit. And if you got the eyes to recognize what the Lord doing, yeah, that's how I believe it's going to be in the day, of all hell breaking loose. I was thinking about something that one particular elder brother I highly respect was talking about. He was mentioning that movie Bushwick. And when you watch that movie, all hell broke loose. The hero of the movie, he didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? The good guy, the antagonist. No, antagonist is bad. I think the protagonist, I'm mixing them up. But he was talking about when the movie first started. Remember how the movie first started? Her man got killed immediately. She was mourning. Then the Lord happened to send a man to help guide her and get her there. And he did end up dying. And the way he got took out was so cold because he was a mighty man. He got took out by a woman, didn't he? But they had seen all that violence, chaos, and mayhem, and then he basically was like, we ain't even been a block yet. So just imagine how it's going to be in real time. I don't want no fucking demonic ass woman with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having trouble controlling these demons on my damn children. I got to go through, I'm talking about, like, I've had an easier time with little boys. It's a reason why I got 3 little daughters, though. You know what I mean? Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. And the scriptures talk about Eve transgressed. Now Adam was, fell short because he listened to her. You the leader, you supposed to lead. Make me think of, I'm gonna end it with this final scripture, because what's that scripture? I might not get it. I think it's in Ecclesiastes 7 though. Scriptures talk about a father and the traps of the devil. And it talks about a woman. I gotta find it. I think it's like Ecclesiastes 7:25. Yeah, it's 26. That's the spirit called law. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. Her mind is bitch, using seduction. Some women, some cold motherfucker. A prostitute, a fake and moan and shit. This bitch that took all this dick, every dick size you could imagine, and then she up there, this nigga got a little pecker, and she, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, a bitch is an act. You talking about a hypocrite? You got to be careful with these hoes. It's so bad right now. You got to think about this. These women so scandalous that literally, you got to actually think about some of these hoes probably married and selling pussy. You know how many times women literally that had the dude financially struggling to actually provide. This bitch got 50,000. She done took money out the savings of both their joint accounts. She got her own account. This is the mind of a female, man. I watch it with my daughters. A old bitch told my children that they told me that literally, um, that you should keep your secrets. I'm like, bitch, so you basically telling them to keep secrets from me. And all kind of demons start coming up. It's funny too because the lady that introduced my old Eve is the one that introduced me to this lady. And it all seemed cool on the surface, just like with my Eve. That's why I had to rethink, the Lord do, like even with me, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not right, the Lord gonna remove you. My thing is, like a lot of people would just, I ain't even gonna, again, I ain't even gotta acknowledge it though. I can, that's the thing. You can hear something that don't respond. Look at Cameron and that dude, Omar, Omar Goodens. He coming on his platform rapping on him, and Cameron ain't make what reply. This book is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 6, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Many of men pretty much have been falling to the wiles of a woman. I know what I'm gonna end with. Again, like one of the first tests that the Lord would do is no, I think it's Proverbs. Is test you through a woman. Miss Phyllis. He'll test you through a woman. And I was listening to the brother say that. He said, some of the greatest have fallen to the. Look at Jack Johnson. The Man Act and all that. He fell to the wiles of a woman. They used them women as his downfall. And that's the mind of Esau. He still want to make money off of you, but be plotting your demise at the same time. It's cold too because, again, one of the first tests that the Lord used, some of the greatest have fallen to women. And, the Lord tests a lot of men in the truth. Like, that's the first test he sent me. Well, that ain't the first test. But as far as, like, really being in the truth, like, I went through tests and then, trying to walk the right road, what I mean? That's why I went to jail trying to be around my kids so much, not realizing you got to sacrifice everything. And I ain't gonna say I'm regretting it because who's to say that I wouldn't have, like I'm thinking about it now, like this is more than what I expected. It's stressful, because I was raised, I know about family. Just to put it like this, the way she moving, if I'd have left and the way she moving, she's not even around, where the fuck would they be at? Esau have them? And very well that might have been the case. So, again, sometimes we did make our beds hard. But at the same time, did we? Everything preordained. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse, I think it's 31. I'm going to start at verse 1. And the point is verse 3. And it says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Verse 3, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. The Lord can use a woman to take you out this truth. He has done that to many men. Ultimately, the Lord may make you sacrifice everything, including your life. The thing is the hope that regardless of whatever you give up, you keep the spirit on you to endure to the end. to finish the race. You know, and again, like I say, this wasn't no prophecy or nothing. It just, you know, it was an observation. Because I'm like, bitch, if this white girl wasn't doing that, you probably wouldn't even have said, if I could have said hello to you, and you probably would have been, you know, nose stuck up in the fucking air. This is the nature of women. But now that I think back on it, like I said, yeah, she probably was flirting afterward. But at first, like I said, because it was funny. As many times I would have went there and bought stuff, she never said nothing to me. That was always like spiritual. Show you the nature of fucking women. Like, it was spiritual. As many times I went in there, she speak like cordially, you know, hey, how you doing? Yeah. But then she up there, all the dogs and all the shit. That's what made it was kind of funny, man. Like, maybe it was the Lord giving me a good laugh, you know, because, you know, I've been so, you know, catching hell and angry and shit. And just to observe that, I'm like, man, these hoes ain't shit, man. So treat them as such. That's just, you know, my observation. I ain't gonna say all of them, you know what I mean? But you don't know another man a lot. The Lord might be purposely wanting you to, you know, again, I know the difference between a good woman and you know. Yeah, I desire more than one woman, but at the same time, I ain't gonna go through everything to get every one of them. You gotta be beneficial. That's why the old girl is, I got girls. They need hair washes and all kind of shit. They need to be told something about being a female and all that shit. But no, I'm not trying to battle Satan on every front. You know what I mean? Like, hell no. So, you know, again, stay locked in, stay prayed up, and stay in this truth. If that's the will of the Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Fight. With that, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Allah, Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Shem. Double honors to the elders, to the apostles that I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith, with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim. Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah, Mwak Lababah.